Well, I don't think they want it to be true. I think they want the extra to be picked up for free.
Everyone's stuck in this, like, they all have this this idea that, working hard should be rewarded more. And it's like, that's just not how business works. Just because you do more physical labor doesn't mean you get compensated more. Otherwise, billionaires would all be guys that are just doing physical labor nonstop.
That's what's sad about garbage is the guys that work the hardest get paid the least.
Yeah, I would totally
like when
agree.
you see a truck with 3 guys on it, the 2 guys on the back loading all the garbage.
Yeah,
by hand. Those guys are getting paid the least in the industry.
Yeah,
and they get commended the most, and they're that's like salt of the earth. And it's like, I get it. I mean, I don't disagree. They're working harder than anybody.
Yeah.
But the really sad part is if you understood like the compensation structure, the guy sitting in the truck that's not getting out, and he's got 2 guys on the back, he's making more than the guys on the back.
Yep.
Because he's got a CDL.
That's it. That's just it's that
the only
simple.
reason.
And I came from a farm family, still live on a farm. I appreciate some of the imagery and romance that goes behind working hard on something and putting in some sweat. But if you're running a company, it's like, that is not the model. The model is not like, how hard can I make these guys work and sweat? Like, it's like, that's not how you get successful in this.
No, you want to ask yourself, how do I create the safest, easiest in terms of, what do I need to do to make it so that way my guys aren't like at risk, aren't like getting overworked, and compensate them the most.
Yep.
Like, how do I marry those two together? I want to compensate them a lot, and I want to give them a good job. Yeah. And like, if you're in garbage and you're collecting residential trash, the side loader is the only option.
Yeah. And
if the side loader works in your area.
If it works, yeah. And if it doesn't work, then you would hope that the guys are getting compensated very well. Like, that's one of those things, if you're not in garbage and you're watching this, ask yourself, the guy that's throwing trash in on the back or riding the back, what do you think he's getting paid, and what would you need to get paid to do it? Because I bet those numbers are not the same.
Yeah.
Like, if someone's watching, like, oh, that guy's jumping on and off, he's got to be making $30 an hour. Nope.
Well, in my opinion, and there's areas where guys are in rear loads by themselves and they do residential. I mean, we did it before we had side loaders.
Yeah.
A guy running a rear load by himself, picking up 350 residential stops, in my mind, should get paid more than a guy in a side loader that's picking up stops.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works, because the guy in the side loader can pick up twice as many stops.
Yep.
And he can do it safely. He's not going to get injured. He's not going to be fatigued.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, that's just not how it works.
Yeah.
So, like, from a business perspective, you're going to go for the side loader every time.
Mm-hmm. And that goes right to the topic of, like, more work doesn't mean more compensation. It's more production. The side load guy tipping 100 cans an hour compared to the side or rear load guy doing, 40 to 50 if he's hustling. Like, how much can a guy by himself in a rear load truck?
With our density, I could do 50 an hour, so it'd be a 7-hour day.
Yeah,
with 350.
and that was exceptional.
That's a 29-year-old at pretty good shape.
You're moving.
I mean, that was the best shape I was in.
Yeah,
was when I was doing those routes.
So you're doing 50 stops an hour by yourself, rear load. Side load guy's doing 100 stops.
Doing 100 stops.
Okay, so it's like, who's more value? You might think,
I'm working harder. I'm working
clearly,
harder,
like,
from a physical perspective.
But from a company perspective, who's making that company more money?
Side loader.
Boom, there.
And he's not going to get injured if he stays in the cab.
No. Yep. And or get tired.
Because that's the other thing. I mean, how long can somebody do that job? Like,
rear load?
Rear load by yourself, 350.
Yeah,
my body would have been shot.
Yeah.
I could even and I've been rear loading for a while. I mean, at 29, I could definitely feel like every year going by, like, not that it was like getting harder, but like it was kind of a question of like, how much longer can I do this?
Yeah.
Which is why, like, I blindly just ordered a side loader.
Yeah. Like, it's not sustainable.
No. And the other question was, okay, I can do this, but can I get other people to do this? Yeah. And can I get other people to do this for the price that I can afford, right? And that was a big no in my mind. I'm like, I want to do this job for what I'm offering the money I'm paying.
Yeah, and that goes to what you're saying, is there's no shortage of bad jobs.
No shortage of bad jobs.
Yeah. Where it's like...
And that was a bad job, what I was doing.
Yeah.
By yourself, having to do 350, that's just a bad job.
Yeah. Ugh.